One thing about a young quarterback, especially in the third quarter, that's all it took. A veteran offensive lineman stepping to the podium after a loss, sounding calm, sounding measured, but saying just enough to light a fire inside the Cleveland Browns organization. Because that comment, it wasn't random, and it definitely wasn't harmless. It was the moment everything shifted. The Browns had just lost a tight one to the Titans, 31-29. On paper, it looked like a tough, competitive game. But if you actually watched it, you saw something different. Shadur Sanders threw for 364 yards, 4 total touchdowns. He led the team in rushing because the run game couldn't get anything going. He was under pressure all afternoon and still kept Cleveland in it until the final whistle. And on the other sideline, Cam Ward, the #1 overall pick, the golden prospect. He finished with 117 yards. That's not a debate. That's domination. But somehow, after the game, the focus wasn't on the protection issues. It wasn't on the stalled run game. It wasn't on interior pressure collapsing the pocket over and over again. It was on one interception in the third quarter. That's when Joel Bitonio said it. As a young quarterback, you want to control the ball more, especially in the third quarter. It sounded like mentorship. It sounded like veteran leadership. But if you listen closely, it was something else. It was a redirect. Because when a veteran lineman says that, he's subtly moving the spotlight off the trenches and onto the quarterback. He's framing the loss around the rookie's mistake instead of the unit's breakdown. And inside that building, that didn't go unnoticed. Here's what fans didn't know at the time. The front office had already been reviewing protection trends. Analytics were flagging interior pressure rates, third down breakdowns, communication issues on slide protections, and too many of those clips traced back to the same side of the line. Now, every offensive lineman gives up pressure sometimes. This is the NFL. Everybody gets paid. But patterns matter. When missed stunts happen in similar game situations, when the A-gap keeps opening up on critical downs, when the run game stalls behind the same interior assignments, it stops looking like coincidence. It starts raising questions. So when Bitonio made that comment, Andrew Berry didn't just hear frustration. He heard confirmation. Because now the words match the film. And once that happens, it's hard to ignore, but it goes deeper than just blocking assignments. Reports suggest not everyone in that locker room was fully comfortable with how fast Shadur Sanders was rising. Think about it. 5th-round pick, son of Deion Sanders. Media spotlight from day one, suddenly becoming the face of the franchise. For some veterans, that's motivation. For others, that can feel threatening. Power dynamics shift quickly when a franchise quarterback emerges. The voices that used to carry weight don't hit the same anymore. The hierarchy changes, and sometimes not everyone adjusts smoothly. Resentment in the NFL doesn't always show up in yelling matches. It shows up in effort, in body language, in small cracks that look like football mistakes. A missed block here, a late pickup there, just enough to stall momentum. Shadur kept taking hits. The run game kept stalling. From the outside, it looked like rookie growing pains, but then he stepped onto the same field as the #1 overall pick and completely flipped the narrative. Before the game, analyst G. Bush made a bold claim. He said Shadur Sanders would outplay Cam Ward. People laughed. Draft position matters, right? Apparently not that Sunday. Ward finished with 117 yards. Shadur tripled that, 364 yards, 4 total touchdowns, in a one-score game, with protection breaking down and 0-run support. That's not hype, that's production. And that performance forced the Browns to make a choice. Do you protect veteran comfort, or do you protect your quarterback? Within 48 hours, Joel Bitonio was released. Publicly, it was about performance. Privately, it sent a message.